Hello. So for my second portfolio entry, I'm doing a sequence of lessons about biographies. Basically what goes into a biography and how to write a biography. Today was the first lesson. I forgot to record it. So I'm going to describe for you what I did, and I will show you some of the visuals that I used to help my students out. So hopefully in the subsequent lessons I will remember to record them so I don't have to do this after school. Alright, so enjoy. Every morning after we do our cursive practice and our making words activities, we come down here to the floor to have our little group time. We usually write the agenda up. And today, number 4, was what is a biography? So we tried to brainstorm some ideas about what is a biography. Had lots and lots of different answers. Many of the kids didn't even know what the word was. So what I did was I had a diagram. A Venn diagram, to be precise. And we talked about what goes in to a biography. What is a biography? It is a true story about someone's life. It gives facts about what the person did. It tells about events that happened during the person's life. And then, I know it's hard to see, but here it says fiction. There it says nonfiction. So we talked about the different elements of fiction, which we've talked about before. And we talked about the elements of nonfiction, and then some of the things that they have in common with each other. After that, we read a biography. We actually read the story of Rosa Parks today. I found that quite interesting. Today, or tomorrow, we'll be reading Jesse Owens. So today is Monday, and every Monday we read our weekly story. Now this Monday we actually had 3 stories that we read. They were all quite short, and they were all biographies. The first biography we read was the Ellen Ochoa story, and she was the first female Hispanic astronaut to go into outer space. The next story that we read was about one of our, finer presidents, Teddy Roosevelt. And the final story we read was about Olympic track star Wilma Rudolph. Now how I conduct my reading is usually we begin as a big group discussion. I have the kids discuss with each other what they think the pictures are about, or maybe some things they might notice. For example, here it says reach for the stars. So we talked about what that might mean before we start reading. We maybe made some predictions about these people. You know, usually I write things up on the board. As you can see, it's not there anymore because it got erased, replaced with science stuff from later. And yeah, so we read the stories. I read most of the story. Sometimes I get volunteers, then they read. Sometimes we all read together. You know, so it just depends on kind of how the kids are at the moment. You know, if they're able to listen. Sometimes they listen better when I read. Sometimes they listen better when they read with their reading buddy. So it depends on the kids. Today, I did most of the reading because that is what they needed. After we read, we have a comprehension activity. Usually run my reading like that. We read the story, and then I have some kind of activity that helps promote their comprehension. What we did today was I made up some worksheets for them, consisting of Ellen Ochoa, Teddy Roosevelt, and Wilma Rudolph. And there are questions that they have to find the answers to, which are all in the text. Alright, and now how I do this is with their reading buddy. I think this is one of the best things that I've implemented so far. Every student has a reading buddy. I actually have 2 reading buddies because they need quite a bit of help. They usually work quite well. I have one of a higher reader with a lower reader. You know, and they go through. They help each other out. They know how to behave for reading buddy time. They know to praise and encourage each other, and they sit next to one another. And for the most part, it works out pretty well. It goes pretty well because they like being able to work, you know, with just one other student, and the lower ones like knowing, you know, they like being able to find the answers too, you know, and those higher ones really, they do well with helping. And it makes me really feel good that They like buddy reading time because I like to use it. Before I conclude lesson 1, I thought I would show you what buddy reading time really looks like. Well, it's not what it really looks like. It would look differently with 20 kids in here, but I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. So, buddies are instructed to get their textbook, to get their worksheet that they need, and they find a comfortable spot that the two of them can work at. Some like down here by my desk. Some prefer to work at their desks. Some like the round table. Some like working in the corner by the air conditioner. Some like squeezing together on the rocking chair. Some like sitting over here by the microwave and the drinking fountain. But basically what it looks like, they will have their books open. If they're on the floor, let's see if we can do it from up here. They will have their books open. They will have their papers. Then they will be sitting side by side, working together. So that is basically how lesson 1 operated. Started the morning with a little introduction to biography, and then we got back from recess. We started reading the biographies, and then we did a comprehension activity to help understand what it was we just read. Tomorrow, we're going to be gathering some information about some certain people. They're going to be in the computer lab. They're going to use Fact Monster, and they're going to fill out a form that I made to help them find the information, to organize it, and then to eventually use it to write their own biographies. See you next time.